So, Michael, today we will be continuing our EMDR preparation, going into an exercise that's sometimes called the Calm Safe Place exercise, although you have complete permission to name it whatever you would like. Some people don't like calm, safe, so they might call this a peaceful place, a magical place, a sacred place, and some people use the word space instead of place. And the purpose of this exercise is to use your imagination to go somewhere in your mind that is either a real place, space, an imagined place or space, where you can take a refuge or a pause. So first things first, what would you like to call this? Would calm, safe place work, or would the exercise feel better under another adjective?
Calm place works.
Calm place works. Okay. And even as I gave you a little bit of that description, is there a place coming up for you that you think we can use for these purposes?
There's a spot in New York, Keuka Lake, that's coming up for me.
Okay. So what I'll invite you to do is just notice some things about that lake, and then at a certain point, I'll invite you to open your eyes and have you track the pen back and forth like we went over last session. Okay. So when you bring this lake into your awareness, Michael, notice what you're noticing about it.
I'm noticing my kayak in the water,
Okay.
the sun on my face,
Mhm.
the stillness of the water as I get into it, the grass and the weeds, the birds that are in the water.
Great. So take a moment here and just be present with all of those details, inviting in all the senses. Notice what you might be hearing or seeing, smelling, even touching or tasting. And what are you noticing right now?
I'm noticing the smell of the water, um, my hand on the paddle, my body in the boat, swaying back and forth as the waves come underneath the boat. Just a calm feeling.
Okay. So I'll ask you to go ahead and open your eyes now and continue to stay with what you're noticing. Follow the pen back and forth. And pause, take a breath. And continue to notice the place and any details. And in this moment, is there one specific detail that is really drawing your attention?
The wide openness of the lake.
Okay. And is that something you'd like to strengthen as a pleasant experience?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you're ready, open your eyes. Pause, take a breath. And Michael, as you're with this imagery, what are you doing or not doing in this place of yours? Where are you at in it?
I'm in the kayak and I am riding just gently over the waves, slowing the kayak down, trying to eat lunch.
Okay. So when you're ready, I'll invite you to open your eyes and stay with that. pause, take a breath. And what are you noticing now?
Just a peacefulness.
Okay. So notice that peacefulness as you open your eyes. And pause, take a breath. So what are you aware of in your physical body right now as you're in this place?
I'm noticing a warm feeling in my chest.
When
That
you're
feels
ready.
pleasant.
Great. When you're ready, let's strengthen that, opening your eyes. And pause, take a breath. So, Mike, is there a name or a phrase that you can give to this specific calm place of yours? And the purpose of this is to have it as a cue word, or some people might say a hashtag in these days, this day and age, to kind of bring it up if you might need it.
Uh, Immediately the name Calm Lake is coming to mind.
Great. So I'll invite you to hold that phrase calm lake together with your current experience and everything you've noticed about Calm Lake. And take a breath. So is there anything else you're noticing or aware of right now?
Just the same feeling of calmness.
Okay. So my encouragement for you would be over the next week or so until we meet again to use this phrase calm lake as a cue to get you to this place. So I like to tell my folks, try it preventatively, like as part of your daily routine or daily practice, just so you have the practice getting there. And then in your life, if you're noticing that there's some stress or overwhelm, if it feels like an appropriate time to say calm lake and take yourself there, if only for a couple seconds, that might also be a nice use of this exercise. So any questions for me at this time?
Mm-mm.
So Mike, we're now going to do the container exercise. And as I was explaining to you previously, containers can be real or imagined. So I can walk you through a visualization with the container and have you do the back and forth tapping as you sense into positive or adaptive aspects of it. But you said you have an actual container you can use, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will you show it to me?
Sure. So it's actually something I use while I'm kayaking.
Which is nice because it goes with your calm place. Yeah.
It does. Snaps.
Great. So leave it open like that for now. That's brilliant. Maybe rest it in your lap or at your side. So the purpose of a container visualization is not to put things away in an avoidance sense. Like, I don't want to deal with this emotion. I don't want to deal with this memory. But rather, the purpose of a container is to hold it for safekeeping, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
now may not be the time for us to work on this. We may be running out of time at the end of a session. So I can symbolically put this emotion, this memory, this thing I don't have the time or space to work with right now in the container. So,
Mm-hmm.
and people find having an actual container or an imagined container can work nicely for these purposes. So I'm going to have you start set up to tap, because I know you like to tap on the knees. Yep, you got it. So take a look at your container to start with. Notice the details about it. Notice its color. Notice its texture. Maybe you touch it to notice the texture. Notice its qualities. And then while it's open like that, I am going to invite you to come into a set of slow tapping back and forth on your knees. Good. Slow it down a little bit. And pause, take a breath. So now I'd like you to imagine that you're placing something in that container. It can be maybe something that you don't quite have the headspace to work on today. It could just be something we're practicing with. And you can either visually imagine that you're putting it in the container, or you can maybe pick up your hands and like pantomime like you're putting something in the container. And then when that feels complete, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and close the container and really notice the sensations of closing the container. Now go ahead and tap your knees back and forth very slowly. And pause, take a breath. And what are you noticing now, just in a general sense?
It feels freer.
Freer? Okay. So tap in freer, just gently back and forth. And pause, take a breath. So at any point, I'd like you to know that you are empowered to open the container. If you're here at the beginning of a session and there's work that's in there, we can go ahead and open it. If you're out there in life, and I know you like to do art and other things that help you process, and it feels like it's time to feel something, you can go ahead and open the container and know that it's there for you for safekeeping whenever you may need to close it again.
Okay.
Okay, any questions for me about the container exercise?
Mm-mm.
And is there a name you might want to put on the container?
Mm. None comes to mind right now.
And you don't need one, especially because you actually have a physical one there, which is pretty cool. Thank you very much.